Hello, MSEA. I am honored to have just a few minutes to speak with you, the amazing activists of the Maryland State Education Association. Your tenacity, your energy, and most importantly, your results are known throughout our entire association. You help to set the standard and the example for what it means to stand up for and protect our nation's public school system. Whenever I get the chance, even on video, to speak with dynamic education activists like you, I know we're gonna win. We're gonna win for our students and our families, our communities, and you, our educators. We are going to win because of you. And because of your bold and visionary MSEA leadership team, Cheryl and Doug and Joe, you have led these committed activists to win significant battles on behalf of Maryland students and educators. MSEA's years of hard work paved the way for the General Assembly's passage of the Blueprint for Maryland's Future, an equity-focused measure that would have increased the state's desperately needed funding over the next 10 years and created the largest expansion of community schools in the entire nation. Now, I know that your governor vetoed the measure in May, but I also know you will fight for as long as it takes to turn that legislation into law. You will fight until every Maryland public school student has what they need and they deserve so they can live into their brilliance. MSEA, so much about this time is challenging and uncertain. And the misinformation coming out of the Trump White House threatens the well-being of our students and our members. In the midst of it all, MSEA, you have remained focused on the health and safety of our students and our educators and our families. The joint letter you sent with Maryland PTA and the Baltimore Teachers Union didn't just move the needle on virtual openings. That letter shot the needle forward. I understand that before you sent that letter, just one district in the state had agreed to virtual instruction. After that letter, every district in Maryland called for distance learning because they wanted to keep their students and educators safe. MSEA, that's what power looks like. You didn't back down. You did what educators do every single day. You didn't just stand in the gaps. You created a bridge to a better solution for our students. And I know that you will continue to take action through the new MSEA President's Council on Safe, Healthy, and Supportive Teaching and Learning Environments. You know that for every student to thrive, we must tackle the inequities that have been built into our education system and the structural racism that compounds to deny access and opportunity, most especially for our Black, Brown, and Indigenous students. MSEA, you have consistently put forth the energy and focus and determination that is needed. That is exactly what every NEA member must put forward so that we can claim victory on November 3rd. It's time for us to turn up the heat, MSEA. We would not be in this ongoing fight with the coronavirus had the person who was supposed to lead this nation actually attempted to, or perhaps knew how to, or maybe cared to lead. Had he and his administration not intentionally and recklessly suppressed the threat of the virus, we may not have been grieving the loss of over 202,000 American lives. It didn't have to be this way. Had the President of the United States not downplayed the threat of COVID-19, the middle school science teacher in me says some of those lives could have been saved. It didn't have to be this way. Children in cages, hate and racial violence on display all over this country. In fact, MSEA, it doesn't have to be this way. We must be done with Donald Trump and Betsy DeVos. Done. He is never going to lead, and she will never care about our students. MSEA, we need a new president. With the recent passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the stakes for this election are now higher than ever. Her loss is devastating for this nation, and her death is a blow for gender equality and women's rights, for civil rights, for labor rights, for justice. But the most immediate blow could come just 1 week after the election. That is when the court is scheduled to hear a case that seeks to do away with the Affordable Care Act. For so many Americans, especially those with pre-existing conditions, Justice Ginsburg's vote and her voice provided much needed support and protection. The silencing of Justice Ginsburg's brilliant, compassionate voice will be felt for generations. That is why every NEA member, everyone who cares about justice, must tell their senators to allow the people to have their say on who that next justice should be by waiting for the results of an election that is already underway. There are just 18 days until Election Day, and I have 3 things I need you to do. First, make sure everyone you know understands that this isn't just the most important election of our lifetime. It is the most important election of our democracy. Second, I want you to make sure that everyone you know understands why NEA recommends Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Joe Biden has been a loyal friend to public education and to labor forever. And as president, he will make it easier for all workers to unionize, and he supports the ability of educators to collectively act, to bargain for respect and better pay, for authority, and for benefits. He knows educators are the experts on what works in our schools and in our classrooms and for our students, and he will make sure that our voices are heard. The Biden-Harris team will help us design a racially and socially just education system that is actually designed to prepare every student, everyone, to succeed in a diverse and interdependent world. And third, during this election, we can't leave anything to chance. So if you don't yet have a voting plan, you need to make one now. You can go to NEA.org/vote to get all the information you need. And I need you to not just do that. I need you to get everyone who likes you or loves you or intends to keep living with you to do the same. Because racial, social, economic, and education justice are on the ballot. The preservation of our democracy is on the ballot, and our great union's mission to unite not just our members, but this entire nation to fulfill the promise of public education? That's on the ballot too. MSEA, you are part of the strongest collective of union activists who are standing in support of public education in this world. We have just 18 days to stand in our power and to elect leaders who care about our kids. Those leaders are Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Let us stand together, always remembering that we are the NEA. We are the largest labor union in this country. And NEA, MSEA, we will prevail.